This show sucks.
If you were a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, what did you do? Play video games? Read comic books? Or watch cartoons? Now, I know everyone had their favorites, like Ninja Turtles and Mighty Max and the Chipmunks, but every so often, something would come along that was kind of different. Stuff like Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and Samurai Pizza Cats.
Even from a young age, I knew there was something different about these shows, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. As I got older, other shows like Gundam Wing and Vision of Escaflowne appeared on TV, and I finally realized, with the help of the internet of course, these shows were made in Japan.
One of my friends told me that I could download anime off the internet. And I was racking my brains trying to think of what show to download, and then I noticed my sister's Chobits manga. And I thought to myself, oh, well, the manga's pretty good, so maybe they made a good anime out of it.
So I started up Kazaa. Yeah, you remember Kazaa, right? And decided to run a video search for Chobits.
Holy shit!
Lo and behold, found a bunch of episodes subtitled by fans. This is back in June 2002, during Chobits' original run in Japan, so the episodes I was downloading were copied from Japanese TV by some white guy living overseas who would just subtitle them an amateur release team and put them on the internet, distributing them only hours after their original broadcast. That summer was filled with many hot, lazy afternoons just watching anime with a large pitcher of iced tea or lemonade.
Now that I'm a bit older, I decided to take a trip down memory lane and watch Chobits again after all these years. It must be because I remember it. This is going to be bad, isn't it?
Alright, before we begin, there's something I gotta mention. Clamp, the studio that makes Chobits, would occasionally hide tiny links between all their series, with Chobits being tangentially related to shit like Angelic Lair, Tsubasa Chronicle, and XXX Holic, pronounced just Holic for some fucked up reason. While they're all therefore related in tertiary fashion, it's not required to watch any of them before Chobits, or to watch Chobits before watching them. Where it counts, you can safely consider Chobits a standalone story, and you can watch it without any kind of inhibition. The question is, would you want to? Okay, the basic concept is that there's this guy named Hideki, whatever, who fails his college entrance exams because he's an inbred farmhand, and has to stay behind a year and go to a special school. I think they're called cram schools or something. Being from the Japanese equivalent of Utah, he knows about nothing outside of the ranch, getting up with the crack of dawn, feeding the cows, shoveling some cow shit, and going to the local watering hole. Ooh, yeah. So, surprise, surprise, he acts like a total fucking astounded tourist when he finally reaches Tokyo, the location of his prep school and the only city in the world that actually matters in the realm of anime. Apparently, this show takes place in the not-so-distant future because personal computers are no longer gray boxes that sit under your desk, but are instead real fucking people?
What the fuck is this shit? I mean, how is this an advancement of technology in any possible way? Okay, maybe the novelty factor of having a walking robot of your own, yeah, okay, that'd be cool, but, you know... Fuck! Like, the practical applications of having something like that over a desktop computer? I mean, look at, okay, surfing the internet. God, okay, look at this scene.
Oh, come on. He can't even fucking look at that shit unless he plugs a monitor in the side of her head. So what's the point? I mean, unless she acts the porn out? But then that brings us to another problem.
Okay, we all know where this is going. It's Japan. It's like every single robot on this show was a nubile young girl. And I'm pretty sure everyone was knowing that the director probably thought to himself, "Oh, easily programmable under age 6 horse. For sale discount price at Walmart." This guy.
The female lead spends the entire fucking show acting like a pathetic, downtrodden pet. This kind of shit is not only insulting to women, but it appeals to the basest of all Japanese nerd fantasies. That no matter how much of a pathetic loser you really are, there'll always be a sultry 14-year-old in heat just waiting to devour your dick. The female lead herself is lying naked on the top of a trash heap where Hideki finds her and then brings her home. He decides to name her Chi, seeing as that's all she can fucking say. After a quick inspection, Hideki finally finds out that her switch is... yeah, you guessed it. In her vagoo.
Really? Really? God, why don't you just call it Slutty Slave Bukkake Box 5000? Just get it over with.
Of course, as it is with anything concerning artificial intelligence, Chobits tries to lather on the man versus machine angle, but it's so awkward that the show is pretty much unwatchable. They ask all the regular questions. Can machines love or feel pain? Can they be considered intelligent beings? Should they be afforded civil rights? And so on, so on. But they never go to great lengths to actually answer them, instead focusing on the character's desire to fuck a prepubescent Pentium 12. So, as we found out before, she acts like a dim-witted animal because she apparently lacks proper programming. And so Hideki has to teach her about regular life in Japan. At this point, the show basically takes on the visage of Sesame Street, as every episode focuses on how Chi learns this week's life lesson.
And what gripping moral values are you going to show us today, Chobits?
Underpants.
That's right, Chi needs to go buy herself underwear. Isn't that just great? Oh look, she's getting lost on the way to the store. Oh, there's no panties there, Chi. That's right, these robots are pretty fucking stupid. Maybe it's marginally acceptable with Chi as she hasn't been programmed properly, but pretty much every other Persicom in this show is just as dumb. Which really raises the question, why the fuck is everybody in love with these things? That's right, every single fucking side character has some kind of history being in love with a Persicom or something similar. Oh yeah, it's a computer. It's a goddamn computer. Buy another one. Oh, come on, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Chobits really tries to push the idea that having sex with a robot that looks like a budding 12-year-old is apparently something that's good. Meanwhile, most viewers will be laughing their asses off or be absolutely revolted by the idea of it. I mean, what's supposed to be drama turns into a fucking joke.
Something else that really makes my shit perk up are Hideki's massive freakouts. Look at this shit.
3, 2, 1. I can't!
Holy Christ, man, you think he's fucking manic or something? Though some of them are pretty funny. Hideki's voice actor in English is Crispin Freeman, and while he's not actually that bad...
Hey, shut up! Okay, English voice actors can be good too, shut up!
While he's actually not that bad, his Japanese voice actor just manages to pull these explosive scenes off in a funnier way. I mean, just look at some of these.
Would you like to make $2 million a month? Dominatrix wanted. No way! 目指せ月収200万募集女王様
Hideki's freakouts eventually culminate into a massive chase through Tokyo as Chi wanders off and he overreacts. What we get is a creepy guy trying to scratch Chi's metallic cervix. Chi turns Super Saiyan and all the Persicoms shut down.
And if only they stayed that way, maybe this show would be tolerable.
But they can't do that, and soon everything just goes back to normal, like it never even happened. So what was the point? All we got were shots of a weird robot nude show and another excuse to see how pathetic and lonely Hideki really is.
Well, it's time for the next episode. Okay, here we go. Just gonna press a few buttons here. Fast forward. What? Did I press the wrong button?
No, as it turns out, this is a clip show. Which brings us to another thing. This fucking show has too many clip shows. This is what, episode 7? We don't need one yet. We know what the fuck is going on. Christ, I just hate clip shows in general. What's the point? We don't need to be fucking reminded. If we did, we'd rent the tape or just watch the goddamn rerun. What's worse is when they're included on the DVD box set, it's as if they're actually trying to justify its existence as a real episode. No. Fuck you. All you're doing is saying, oh man, we have to make a 26-episode show. We've only got about 10 episodes of content. Let's just jam the rest with horse shit so we can pad it out and sell what should be a 2-DVD show on 8 fucking discs. The worst part is when you have a clip show that's recapping what was a filler episode to begin with. It's like a gigantic swirling mass of fail with no escape. Fuck. So Crispin Freeman's English voice acting is pretty good, but essentially everyone else across the board is just goddamn awful.
This apartment building's called the Gupjokusaki. My name is Chitose Hibiya. I'm the manager of this building.
Is something bothering you, Senpai?
I guess the truth is I actually wanted to tell you, 'cause I really did think of you as a close friend.
That would be my husband. Do you think it's wrong for a married person to fall in love with someone else?
And so you can do the right thing. You're going to be with me. Now.
But I haven't said enough yet.
Yet just means that we're moving in the right direction, that's all.
Shimbo, you really are a positive person.
Hold on now. So after all we've been through, I'm still Shinbo to you? Now here's a question. What would I like you to call me? Get it right and you get a gold star.
Everything they say just comes off as wooden and overexerted. But when you switch to the Japanese version, you get a lot of crap like this.
Hideki, itte guruguru shite Daijoubu? Unasa?
Christ, man. There's just no escape. One thing that Clamp, the company that made this show, is really well known for is its hatred of the Slash community. For the uninformed, the Slash community is basically a group of people that either draw or write about characters from their favorite show or comic, generally in a romantic pairing that is not seen in the original work. Honestly, 99% of anything created by this community is just complete fucking shit. I guess Clamp clued into this phenomenon and took steps to make sure that their own characters and stories weren't raped by their ever-disgusting fans.
Which is pretty useless, considering they did a great job of raping them themselves.
What they decided to do was pair off everybody. Hot landlady had a husband. Hot teacher, she's fucking her student. Hot 16-year-old with a massive rack. She's taken from a bakery manager who's old enough to be already married and widowed. Sick.
What the shit? It's like in their attempts to thwart the unwashed masses from fucking up their magnum opus, they decided to make the most forced, pathetic hookups possible.
After a few more clip episodes and fillers, including but not limited to the obligatory beach show, the fetish dress-up show, and the side character-only show, we learn from the stereotypical rich frail kid character that she is a Chobits, that is to say, a persicom that can actually feel real emotions instead of simulated and programmed emotions.
Which makes you think, how is this really possible? I mean, she's still a machine. We've seen her schematics. Seen her hooked up to wires and shit. It's like everything she does is just programmed in. But apparently she's got the capability to create emotions. You can't. It's programmed inside of you. It's not original thought.
Then there are these fuckers. They're probably the only example of battle-oriented persicoms in the entire series, which is pretty fucking dumb, considering that seems like the most obvious thing to build robots for, rather than, you know, household chores or something. They want to kill Chi, or disassemble her, or reprogram her, or something. Why?
Well, putting in things like motive or backstory? Well, that would make too much sense, wouldn't it?
So the climax of the series has Hideki confessing his love to his little blonde laptop, Chi getting her hard drive wiped, and Hideki left alone to wallow in his own melodrama.
Confirmed.
No! You can't do this! Chi!
Initiate.
Chi!
Procedure completed.
Chobits!
What is it? Hideki.
But they can't land an anime made for young schoolgirls end like that. Oh no. We need to keep those little ones safe in the dream of someday growing into a princess and having a handsome man sweep them off their feet and give them true love, so that they don't realize that most of them will ultimately end up being subjugated by a ham-fisted man with a power hard-on, will only be remotely pleased with their existence if they're cooking food while constantly pregnant. Hooray!
And so we end on a deliciously sappy note, and all is well. What a piece of fuck! I mean, God! I really wish I hadn't gone back and rewatched the show because it totally ruined the memories of my childhood. I mean, Christ, kept thinking, I had a great time watching this as a kid, the rose-colored glasses, whatever. But no, I had to go back and watch it again, and it's fucking horrible! It's fucking horrible! Oh. Wait. What? There's another episode? Alright, well. Let me give it a shot. Forward. Forward. What?
Did they actually make the series fucking finale a clip show? Are you serious? The show's fucking over. I don't need to read the fucking clip notes. This is like watching a movie, then having the credits replaced with a quick paragraph summing up what you just watched. This is like a novel just repeating the final chapters twice. Only the second time around, they just randomly deleted half the words. It's like a video game with a final level. It's just replaying random scenes from earlier levels it's already beat. And considering so many fucking games do that, it's just goddamn awful.
Fuck this show.